Hello everyone. Please let me know whether you are able to see me and whether you are able to hear me. So I think Neelam has joined. Neelam, just let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me so that I start the review. So just let me start the review. Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this book review of Neelam Saxena Chandra's book Rhyming with Life and her animated books for kids. So I received Neelam's book Rhyming with Life 2 weeks back, and I just want to thank Neelam about the fact that she always remembers when we talk about something to each other, then she will always remember the particulars of the conversation. I would just want to share an anecdote that I recently experienced. It was LitFest, LWG LitFest 2.0, and there was a certain initiative of LWG for which I had won a complimentary copy of one of her books. I was supposed to choose the book, and I chose the book and told Neelam that yes, please send me or give me this book. So then she said, okay, when we meet for the Lit Fest, then I'm sure to bring the book with me. There was lot of frenzy during the Lit Fest 2.0. There were a lot of minor particulars which needed her concentration and her to be aware of all of those things. And when I reached the venue of the Litfest 2.0, I thought that maybe she has forgotten, and that is fine. But the moment I met Neelam, her hand went into her purse and she brought out the book Stella, which I had won in that initiative. So I was really touched because she is a person who does not forget things. She remembers all the little particulars of a conversation, and that makes her not only excel in her work chosen field of work, but also makes her excel as a human being. So, and I want to thank her that she has provided us with this amazing platform where we can talk about literature, poetry, art, and all the books that we really admire and love. So I thank all of you who have joined over here. So thank you so much for sparing your time to listen to this review. So today we are going to talk about the recently released book by Neelam. It is a poetry book by the name Rhyming with Life. She doesn't beat around the bush, and she has actually written a poem with the name Rhyming with Life in the same book. And there she tells you that these are the poems where she's actually rhyming with life, and she is actually not uh, trying to rhyme the words. So don't get misled. So that is a very clear cut message in the poem Rhyming with Life, and does like she does rhyme with life in this book, because each poem is a strong message. No poem is like the other one. They are unrhymed poems, they are free verse poems, and each poem talks about a strong message which is actually very different from the other. I'd like to talk about a few poems with respect to this book. Uh, yes, Purna, I also love her children's books, and I'm definitely going to talk about them as I progress. So, the book starts with the first poem, that is poetry, where Neelam is contemplating about what does poetry do? Is it just a helpless bystander where it stands and notes down all the social evils, all the things that are taking place around her, and cannot do anything? But in the end, she realizes that no, poetry is very powerful. It notices and it touches a certain sensitive heart and brings about the change in the situations which that the poem wants to bring about. That is about poetry. I can talk about a few poems. All the poems are really very good, but I will talk about the ones that I really admired and loved. Uh, the second poem that I would like to talk about is the bridges, where the waves are metaphorizing thoughts of the poet. The first wave, and it is about thinking and trying to understand whether The poet can cross a certain bridge. The bridge is uncertain. Where you reach after crossing the bridge is uncertain. And one of the waves tells her to take the adventure. Another wave tells her that like she should be cautious. She can't hear properly what the third wave is saying. But in the end, she surprises us by telling that she is a wanderer. She is going to take the adventure. She is not going to be cautious. But there is one thing for which she waits a little bit and she honors, and that is actually the love. Whenever we stay at a certain place and we are about to leave, we think of all the things, all the people who we have like created loving bonds with. And she says that every time she leaves a place, she actually thinks about the this, and she honors that loving bond and she will honor it forever. So this is a beautiful poem, Bridges. Then there is one poem where she explains how she developed self reflection, her journey about self reflection, where she started speaking to a certain irregularity in the wall. The poem is called Universe in a Dot. And slowly and steadily, as she progressed, she developed self reflection. So it is an amazing poem. Some poems are very strong with their social message, like The Stinking Walls, where the message is that if you do not speak for yourself, if you do not express or revolt, then you are bound to land up like the stinking walls, where a very careless and a mindless person who, in spite of having a place to pee, will pee, and then the stinking wall will be created. So, this is a very strong message, and one has to like take it in and understand that yes, there is a lot of meaning to what she is trying to say. Then there is another poem by the name of Form, where we run away from those who can understand our grief, our pain, maybe our sensitive spots, and try to reach a place where no one can understand us and be comfortable in that false world. So that is the Form. I really loved that poem, Form. And then the poem that I would like to read for you is the poem that I really, really admired, and that is a Stray Dogs. It also has a very strong message. So this is a book for all of you, Rhyming with Life, and the cover page has been designed by Sudeep Deshpande, who is a very well-known and renowned painter and artist and an architect from Bahrain. So it is a lovely cover page, and I am sure you will love the cover page as well. So I'll read the book Stray Dogs, which is a very powerful poem. Stray dogs too need water. I took a bowl full to the brim and placed it on the ground below our tall building. Skinny, lanky, gaunt dogs rushed to have their sip. Engrossed in their activity of drinking, suddenly a stout, rowdy, but pampered dog arrived on the scene, bulldozed others to run away with its loud bark, and then and they timidly hid themselves, while the pampered one had its fill, one who could have got its water from its master's too. After a few days, I went to a resort. When I heard commotion and went out silently, wondering what it was all about. The story was the same. The characters had changed. The resort owner was using the water of the river nearby for all sorts of purposes: drinking, boating, water sports. While the poor farmers were fighting for their riparian water rights, alas, the haves and the have nots still have a barbed line with a wall which only the former can cross. The latter scream and squawk but get nothing. Damn the rights, damn the system. We are all stray dogs fighting for what we shall never get. So this is Stray Dogs. I'm sure you're inspired to get your hands on this book and read it. So I will actually, whenever a person wants to read a book, it is never a poetry book. It is never like a prose book, a non-fiction book, or a fiction book. One reads a page, reads one poem, then contemplates, ruminates, and then goes to the other page, tries to think about what the poet must have thought when they wrote that poem. and then read it through the evening where you do not have a lot of things on your hand, and that is the way I also enjoy the book. You could always take this book especially to a small train journey like from Pune, Mumbai or back, and you could sit at the window side, read one poem, contemplate, ruminate, think about it, and then progress, look out of the window, and then progress to another poem. So this is that kind of book, because each poem will take time for you to get it in, to understand, and to progress. And I'm sure you will enjoy it thoroughly. So that is about rhyming with life. I'm also very, very impressed these days by Neelam's animated books for kids. And I always wanted to talk about them. And I actually have also got these books. This is a feet tapping Natraj. I especially want to talk about this book being a psychologist, because this is a book where there is a very nice and sensitive story around a child who is having ADHD and who cannot stop dancing. Neelam is a natural storyteller. She can weave stories and create that awareness. And when a parent reads this book to their toddler, then the parent is also becoming aware and the toddler is also becoming aware. And since this is an era of inclusive education, the child learns to tolerate, learns to include the special child while playing with them. And it is very important that more and more such books are to be written. And this is a great initiative. And I congratulate Neelam for starting it, and I want her to continue writing this way, in the way she is a storyteller, because she can really adapt uh, to that story, and it doesn't become a very technical stuff, and at the same time awareness is created. The other books that I got my hands on is this Hindi book, Kasam Matmele Mushroom Ki. I remember that as a child, as a toddler, I got books by my father since I was almost 2.5, 3 years old. And these little books, the similar kind of books he brought for us, and then he read to us, and they become a part of your psyche as you grow up, and they can't be forgotten very easily. They are also aid in the emotional development of the child, becoming emotionally sensitive, becoming empathic. And that is what Kasam Matmele Mushroom Ki does to the child. And so you can always get your hands on this book to read to your toddlers and also to your grandkids. Another book is which I read online. I do not have the copy. Is the um, Flying Slippers, Naughty Slippers. Yeah. So the Naughty Slippers is kind of a book which develops imagination in the child. It is a fairy tale like imaginative world, but developing that imagination in a child is also very important. And so there too, Neelam is doing a great job. I want more and more of these kinds of books to see from her. Of course, she already writes a lot, but then we are never satisfied. We want more and more of what she's doing. So these books are really what I have been admiring in case of Neelam, and that will definitely build up the emotional world of your child. So that is about rhyming with life, and also about her animated books for kids. Hope you love all these books, you enjoy all these books, and talk about them, share them, gift them, and read them. So I would go on like I can't stop talking about books once I start talking, but then there is always some time limit, and we have to stop somewhere. I also am reminded, just I don't want to leave that particular thing. In Rhyming with Life, there are books which are very emotional and who are related to the author's relationship or the passing away of the of her parents. Then there are very strong poems related to ahimsa and about the Gandhiji's charkha. So I actually admire all of them because each poem is very distinct. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this book review, and I hope I'm not leaving anything. So thank you so much. Thank you, Rupa. Thank you, Neelam. Thank you, Purna. And all of you who have joined. I see Radha, Surekha ji. So thank you so much. Bye bye and have a great time.